Should a man take his girl back after she had an intercourse with another man?
The answer is hell no. Once another man come in your woman's pussy, just throw her back. Just throw her back.
You identify my bitches with APs. She ain't got an AP, she is not mine.
You cold. He cold.
She belongs to the streets.
How can men and women ever be equal if pussy costs more money than dick?
I don't care. Give me more money for my pussy, whore.
I honestly don't think we will ever be equal. I think that is a dream that we would love to have, and that's something that we can pursue and fight for, but I don't truly think that we will ever be treated the same.
That's why it's never gonna end, because she still thinks she's oppressed, even though she thinks we're wallets. Don't you see the double standard there? Don't you see how dumb that is? They have all the power and they still think they need to fight for more. It won't end. Focus on yourself. Ignore these hoes. She belongs to the streets.
Sensational.
Hey gents, today we'll go over Trevor's story. Trevor is a 34-year-old guy. His ex-wife is 35 years old. Her affair partner, Robert, was their neighbor. He said he was also married to a woman named Rachel. Trevor got married to his wife, Sandra, in 2011. They had their baby in 2012. In October 2012, while his wife was asleep, he said that a message popped on her phone. It was a flirty message. Trevor checked his wife's phone. Lo and behold, the message was from Robert, their neighbor. He went through every single message, which included sharing intimate, and they even had planned meetups at hotels. Trevor said this had been going on from the first week of their marriage, and he felt like his world crumbled in front of him. He took screenshots of every message and saved them on his phone. The next day, he contacted Rachel, Robert's wife. He told her about the affair. Trevor said that Rachel and Robert were married for 4 years and had their first child almost the same time as he had his. Trevor confronted his wife and told her that he was going to give her a divorce. She started crying, but he didn't consider it. He also did a paternity test on their child because the affair timeline was the same as the conception date. 2 days after telling her about the divorce, when he came home from work, their baby was crying in their bed, and Sandra, his wife, was nowhere to be seen. Then he found a letter telling him that she did not love him as she had left with Robert, and not to contact them. Trevor said he knew this was coming, but he didn't believe that a mortar could leave her child, who was 6 months old, alone, and could run off with her lover. He then went to Rachel's house. She had received the same letter from her husband. He felt sorry for her as she was going through postpartum depression, had her baby just a few months ago, and was left alone. Also, paternity test results came back and the child was his. Trevor tried to contact Sandra's family, who's his ex now, but they also didn't know where she was and were shocked by her behavior. Her father even said that if she ever came back, she would not be allowed to enter their house. They basically disowned her. Rachel was very supportive. He said she began coming to his house to watch the kids and even breastfed both of them, hers and mine. As time passed, Trevor and Rachel were like family. His son called her mom and had known only her as his mom. They also decided to go on dates. They got engaged a year later and married in 2016. They had their first child in 2018. They often discussed things about their exes and how they were often disrespected by them. He said he and Rachel were a happy family. In 2018, his son accidentally saw a picture of his ex, Sandra, a picture after birth. So he decided to tell him about his birth mortar and said that the ex had died in a car accident years ago. He told him Rachel had taken care of him since he was 6 months old. A few days ago, Trevor said he received an anonymous email. He opened it and it read, "I want to see my son and I want my family back. We're not divorced yet." He said he knew it was his ex. Trevor showed this to Rachel. Rachel started freaking out and asked him if he would take her back. He calmed her down and told her that his ex was just a bad past and that he would never leave her. I mean Rachel. Now Trevor is confused about what to do. What a crazy world we live in. Trevor, sorry you got to go through all this. No good man should be allowed to live like this. I know you might be wondering if you should give your son the opportunity to have a connection with his birth mortar. Trevor, I'm 100% sure your son isn't going to take her back because she is an absolute psycho, abandoning her son, and all that, not to mention what she did to him. You might also be worried about whether she'll have custody of your son. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm pretty sure that abandoning her son, helpless and alone in the crib only to elope with her lover boy, has pretty much severed all parental rights and claims she could possibly have. My mind tells me you're also thinking if you should let your ex see your son. Don't let her see your son. Not a chance, because she screwed up that opportunity and she's just going to screw the kid up. Your son already has a very good situation with you and obviously Rachel, his stepmother. Rachel obviously treats the child like her own, which is awesome. Don't let your son see his birth mortar, she'll mess him up. This brings me to the question, why did she come back? Well, this is very easy. Number 1, she found her boyfriend cheating on her with a younger woman. Number 2, her family already disowned her, so she didn't have anywhere else to go, except back to Mr. Nice Guy. Good thing Trevor isn't a nice guy. She was desperate and probably thought Trevor would give her money, or she'll use her son to get a money guarantee. It's really sad, but this is how the world is now. Most rich women I've seen got their wealth from divorce. Now divorce is a get-rich-quick scheme. This is a topic for another day. Anyway, that's all for today's episode on Circle of Kings. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. It motivates me to create more content for you. See you next time. Cheers.